It was the moment fans around the world had been waiting for, the day Can Yaman finally stepped onto a US talk show stage. For years, his name had echoed across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. But now, it was America's turn to witness the charisma, the intensity, and the presence that had made him one of the most admired actors of his generation. What no one expected, though, was that this single appearance would leave fans, and even the host, completely speechless. From the second Can walked onto that stage, everything changed. The crowd erupted into applause, and the camera panned in on him, confident, graceful, and effortlessly charming. Dressed in a perfectly tailored black suit with a touch of Mediterranean flair, his signature smile disarmed the audience instantly. The host stood up to greet him with an almost surprised expression. "Wow," she said, laughing, "you've officially brought the room to a stop." The audience laughed, but you could feel it, the energy had shifted. For Can, this wasn't just another appearance. It was a defining moment, the culmination of years of hard work, struggle, and reinvention. He had already conquered Italy, capturing hearts with his magnetic performances, his humanitarian work, and his undeniable presence. But Hollywood had always been a different mountain to climb, a dream for many, but a challenge for even the best. Yet tonight, as he sat down under the bright lights of a US studio, it was clear that something extraordinary was happening. The interview began lightheartedly, with the host joking about his global fame. "You have fans everywhere," she said. "Europe, South America, Asia. I even met someone backstage who said her mom watches your shows on repeat." Can laughed modestly, his deep voice calm and sincere. "I'm grateful," he replied. "Every fan, every country, it's all been part of an incredible journey." His English was fluent, his accent charming, the perfect balance between confidence and humility. The host leaned forward, clearly intrigued. "You know, a lot of American viewers are just discovering you now. They're asking, who is this man that everyone's talking about? How does it feel to finally bring your world fame here, to Hollywood?" Can smiled, looked down for a second, then said, "It's emotional. You know, I've worked hard, I've made mistakes, I've learned a lot. I never wanted to chase fame, I just wanted to connect with people. And somehow, that connection reached places I never expected." That line struck a chord. The audience applauded spontaneously. You could feel it, he wasn't performing, he was being real. And in that authenticity, something special happened. The conversation then shifted to his journey. From his early days as a lawyer to becoming one of the most famous actors in the world, Can spoke with depth and vulnerability. "I studied law," he said. "It gave me discipline, structure. But acting gave me life. I realized that I could live 1,000 lives through stories. And that was something I couldn't walk away from." The host nodded, clearly impressed. It's rare to see someone switch from law to acting, and to become an international icon in such a short time. "What was the turning point for you?" Kim paused for a moment before answering. "Losing myself," he said quietly. "When you lose who you think you are, you find who you're meant to be. Acting did that for me." The crowd fell silent. It wasn't the kind of answer anyone expected from a celebrity interview. But that's exactly what made it powerful. Can Yaman wasn't there to promote a movie. He was there to share a story, his story. Then came the moment that sent social media into overdrive. The host asked about the constant rumors connecting him with international projects and even personal relationships. "Can," she said playfully, "your fans have theories about everything, who you're dating, what you're working on next, even what your next country might be. Do you ever read those stories?" Can laughed. "I try not to," he said. "If I believed everything written about me, I'd be living 10 different lives at once." The audience laughed with him. "But I understand where it comes from," he continued. "People care. And when people care, they create stories. That's beautiful in a way, it means you've touched their imagination." The host smiled, leaning closer. "So, can you tell us what's next? Are you coming for Hollywood?" For a moment, he didn't answer. He simply looked around, smiled, and said, "Maybe Hollywood is coming to me." The crowd erupted in cheers. The host laughed, raising her hands. Okay, that's officially the quote of the night. That single sentence, "Maybe Hollywood is coming to me," went viral instantly. Within hours, clips from the interview were all over Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Fans called it his Hollywood moment. One Italian journalist tweeted, "Can Yaman just walked into American television and owned it." Another fan wrote, "This is how you introduce yourself to the US, calm, powerful, and magnetic." But beyond the applause and the trending hashtags, what made this moment unforgettable was the humanity behind it. Can wasn't trying to impress anyone. He wasn't playing a role. He was being himself, grounded, confident, and real. As the interview went on, the host asked about his transition from Turkish television to international stardom. "It must have been overwhelming," she said. "Suddenly, you're in Italy, surrounded by fans everywhere, your face on billboards. How do you stay grounded?" Can nodded, thoughtful. "It can be overwhelming," he admitted. "But I've learned that fame is just a reflection, not reality. You have to remember who you are without the lights. I have family, close friends, and work that keeps me humble. At the end of the day, I'm just a man who loves what he does." The host smiled. "You seem very centered." He replied softly, "It's because I've been lost before." Once again, the audience fell silent. There was a rare sincerity in his tone, the kind that can't be faked. Even the host, a veteran of dozens of celebrity interviews, seemed moved. "You know," she said, "I've met a lot of people, but you have a presence that's hard to describe. You're calm but powerful, like you don't need to prove anything." Ken chuckled modestly. "Maybe because I've already proven everything I needed to myself." The crowd broke into applause again. After the show aired, US media outlets picked it up instantly. Entertainment blogs praised his poise, major magazines highlighted his charisma, and international fans flooded social media with admiration. Headlines read, "Can Yaman wins over Hollywood, America falls for the Turkish star," and "the talk show moment everyone's talking about." Producers and casting agents reportedly began reaching out immediately. One insider told a Hollywood publication, "After that appearance, the phone started ringing. People wanted to meet him, not just because he's famous, but because he's fascinating." The following week, he was spotted having dinner with several well-known film executives in Los Angeles. Cameras caught glimpses of him walking out of a private restaurant, smiling politely but refusing to answer questions. Fans began speculating that a Hollywood deal might already be in motion. Back in Turkey and Italy, his loyal fans celebrated with pride. They saw this not just as a career milestone, but as a cultural one. A Turkish actor, who had already conquered Europe, now charming America with grace and authenticity, it felt like a victory for everyone who had followed his journey from the beginning. What made it even more powerful was how he handled it afterward. He didn't brag. He didn't post endless clips or talk about the buzz. Instead, he shared a quiet Instagram post. A black and white photo of him walking off the set, with the caption, "Gratitude speaks louder than words." That simple post received over 2 million likes within 24 hours. Fans flooded the comments with messages like, "We're so proud of you, you deserve the world," and "Hollywood has no idea what's coming." And they were right. Because what happened next proved that this talk show wasn't just a one-time moment, it was the beginning of something much bigger. Soon after, an American streaming giant reportedly approached him for a leading role in a limited series, a story set between Rome and Los Angeles, blending both of his worlds. Though nothing has been officially confirmed, the rumor alone sent fans into overdrive. Every entertainment outlet started writing about him. The Turkish star who might conquer Hollywood, they said. And in a way, he already had. Because Can Yaman didn't just appear on a talk show, he arrived. With every word, every glance, and every moment of authenticity, he showed the world what true charisma looks like. Not loud, not forced, but quiet, magnetic, and unforgettable. That night, when the camera stopped rolling and the studio lights dimmed, the host turned to him and said softly, "You know, Can, you've just made a lot of new fans tonight." He smiled, nodded, and replied, "I just hope they see the real me." And that's exactly what they saw. From Turkey to Italy, and now to the United States, Can Yaman's journey is more than just a story of fame. It's a story of persistence, authenticity, and timeless charm. In a world that often celebrates noise, he proved that quiet confidence can still make the loudest impact. Fans around the globe still replay that talk show moment, quoting his words, watching his smile, and remembering the night the world truly took notice. Because that was the night Can Yaman didn't just visit America, he conquered it. And as one American journalist put it perfectly the next morning, he didn't just walk onto that stage. He walked straight into Hollywood's heart. In the following days, the buzz only grew stronger. Major American magazines featured him on their online covers with headlines like "The Turkish Star Taking Hollywood by Storm" and "The New Face of Global Television." Talk show hosts began referencing him in their monologues, joking that even their staff couldn't stop watching clips of his interview. But beyond the excitement, one truth stood out clearly: Can Yaman had achieved something rare. He hadn't just impressed an audience, he had built a bridge between cultures. With grace, intelligence, and sincerity, he reminded everyone that true talent speaks one language, and that language is authenticity.